titties, pussy, money, weed. Everywhere I look, a killing spree. Cosplay is what she wanna be. Cosplay what she turned out to be. Ass, titties, pussy, money, weed. Everywhere I look, a killing spree. Cosplay is what she wanna be. Man's just what I like. You know that when there's a new seasonal slice of life romance anime that I'm gonna be all over it. Hell, 9 days into 2022 and everyone's riding My Dress Up Darling's dick harder than 02 and her "Hi honey." Come to think of it, both of those animes have darling in their titles. What's really surprising though is just how quickly My Dress Up Darling has been able to engage and hook such a large audience. In fact, we haven't had a slice of life romance anime of this caliber for quite a while. 2018 introduced Darling in the Franxx, 2019 brought us Kaguya-sama Love is War, and for the following 2 years this genre would remain dormant. Furthermore, the work of OLM and Cloverworks has blessed us with 2 groundbreaking romance animes that aired in 2 consecutive fucking seasons. Komi-san Can't Communicate aired about a month after fall started, and My Dress Up Darling started airing about a month after winter started, which is insane. However, Komi-san was one of the most highly anticipated and longest awaited shows for weebs across the world. I remember memes circulating on Reddit since early 2017, which was when I read the manga. And despite having nowhere near the same hype nor anticipation as Komi-san, chances are that if you watch anime and have been on any social media lately, best girl Marin Kitagawa has flooded your feed. How then has this anime become the shining light of this season? As a game developer, one of the most important elements to the feel of a game is the player-enemy dynamic.
Simply adding in an enemy that chases the player does nothing more than annoy the player on their journey towards the final objective. Game designers strive to create a mutual dependency between the player and the enemy, so that neither of them has any fundamental purpose without the other existing.
For example, in a game jam that I joined recently, a core mechanic of my game was that the player loses energy as they move around, which they must do in order to avoid being killed by enemies. However, the player cannot survive by running away because they will run out of energy and die. Instead, they must kill enemies in order to regain their energy, and so an interdependency is created.
Nekoto, what the hell does this have to do with My Dress Up Darling?
Well, it's because this is in fact the very same dynamic presented between the 2 main characters. Wakana Gojo is a struggling Hina doll artist who isn't confident in his skills. Furthermore, he shares neither any platonic nor romantic relationships at school, resulting in a quickly diminishing mental and emotional state. On the other hand, Kitagawa Marin is a major cosplay fanatic. However, she doesn't possess any of the skills required to make her outfits, and her popular reputation at school often scores her with people not so fond of her passion. There was a word for those kinds of people, I forgot what it was.
You mean douchebags?
There we go. As such, the average male MC-kun with the upgraded suing stat gave us this. The suing stat in particular is probably what makes Gojo's character so much more interesting. It's just such a weird trait to give your male protagonist in an anime, and yet they've made it an underlying requirement of the series' progression. Marin herself is an enthralling topic to talk about. The craftsmanship required to create a character that upholds an all-encompassing version of the waifu class to such a high level of competence is just incredible. I'm convinced that Fukuda Shinichi is amongst the god league of character designers for manga. To understand exactly what makes Marin such a good waifu requires taking a look at both her character design and personality. Marin is a girl who cares little to nothing about her status in the classroom. More often than not, she bothers with the welfare of the people around her despite being missile yeeted across the length of a classroom and landing on a table head first with a skull-shattering impact. She then gets up and is more concerned about the random fucking ink mark on Gojo's hand. Even so, you find that she is usually really self-conscious and is willing to stand up for the things that she loves over popularity or fame. She would rather lose her popularity than lose her dignity. Nonetheless, this shies in comparison to probably the biggest, most interesting and captivating part of this character. So it's about time I address the elephant in the room. 2 of them in fact, being her massive fucking titties! There's no doubt that character design is extremely important when selling your character in a story. And Fukuda Shinichi really shows how much it pays off to go big this season. Big heart, big passion, big ass and big titties. It really just sends Marin absolutely off the waifu charts and into a league of her own. If my Sakurajima is in the Sistine Chapel of waifus, then Marin is the Vatican City itself. Now, if someone could just make a Marin Sakurajima, I'd gladly sell my left nut to the anime studio that did it. And as of the time of writing, we're only 6 episodes into the series. I've got super big hopes for this show and I'm really looking forward to seeing more of these two characters and their amazing dynamic. So who knows, Giga could be right about this turning into a horny Mia, but if I had to sum it up, I'd say it's a lot closer to domestic no cosplayer. No, Tonikaku Oppai. No wait, I got it. My dress up horny Mia love is hard for an otaku. In the Franks. OVA.